If you're in your 40s and invest using an ISA and are serious about taking things to the next level, here's exactly what you need to do. As a qualified financial advisor, I have worked mostly with people like you. Good income, decent savings, already investing. You have a stocks and shares ISA somewhere, often with Hargreaves or one of the big banks, and you feel like you're doing the sensible thing. But almost nobody I speak to actually knows how their ISA compares to the rest of the country, or what it really needs to do for their future. Let me give you some numbers. HMRC data shows the average ISA balance for people in their late 30s and early 40s is around £13,000 across all ISAs. Across the whole market, there is about £870 billion in adult ISAs spread over roughly 21 million people. That works out at just over £40,000 each on average. If you have more than this in your ISA already, you are ahead of the average. But here is the twist. Being ahead of most people in the UK does not automatically mean you are on track for the life you want in your 50s and 60s. Because when you look what the top group of investors are doing, the gap is not just in the balance, it's in the behavior. HMRC figures show that only about 17% of ISA investors use the full allowance each year. Even among people earning over £100,000, less than 40% max it out. Most people add in a bit when they remember, skip years, or sit in cash because it feels safe. Now let's look at behavior at the top end. Data from Money Week shows that the top stocks and shares ISAs, which are sitting at 250k and above, have almost all of their money invested in the market rather than in cash. That doesn't happen by accident. That comes from three things: consistent funding, equities as the core, and tight control on fees. So if you're in your 40s with over 13k in your ISA, you are doing better than most people you know. But the real question is not, am I ahead of the average person in the UK? It's, is this structure on track to give me choices at 55, 60, 65? That is where platforms come in. If you're using a higher cost legacy platform or a big bank and paying over the odds for basic access, a lot of your future growth is quietly leaking out in fees. You want a setup where you can keep total cost competitive and actually use more of your allowance each year. Platforms like Saxo sit in that space, giving access to global markets with lower ongoing costs, which is why I use them in my own planning. Here is the takeaway I would give any serious investor. Do not benchmark yourself against the UK average. Benchmark yourself against the life that you want. Then make sure your ISA, your contributions, and your platform are actually aligned with that. If you have any questions about your ISA or how to sense check the platform you're already using and the fees involved, leave a comment and I'll help where I can.